there's of course another way that potentially is crazy is if you take, like, okay, so for full transparency, I don't know if I should be saying this. Why not? It's not like I'm running from the IRS or anything. Currently, my wife and I probably siphon off uh, 80% of our income to investments. 80%.
Wow.
Absolutely. But like, we're not from money. And so the way we live relative to how much money we earn, we just wouldn't even understand where to begin spending them.
Right.
There's no
No
desire for
context.
us.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're like, okay, so I didn't grow up going to the club. I don't even know where the club is. I don't get
Yeah.
anything out of
There's
being
a
at the
club
club.
around here.
Right. Like with the club, what is that even? Who knows? Like we're not into fancy clothes. We have one car that we share. That's just
Wow.
us. Yeah.
Okay.
Because we just don't need another one. Like we work from home. We go to the store, we go out to eat a few times. You just don't need it. And,
Okay.
she's Asian and I'm Jewish. So having things we don't need is like an allergy to both of our races. We're just like, oh
You're
my
allergic to
God.
that. Yeah.
That's right. Why is this here? So I'm not saying that our 80% investment rate is a good thing. It's a little extreme, but you could play with that in your head if you're considering investing and asking yourself, how much am I kicking my pleasure and financial security into the future? If
Right.
you're very future oriented, like you were for the last 20 years of your career, then it's so totally okay to invest most of what you earn because look, this is going to kick back in a little bit and I'm just setting up such a great life for myself. It's going to be amazing. If you're thinking, yeah, I want to do that, but I also want to have some fun along the way, totally have a little bit more fun. Don't invest as much. Just know the trade off and be okay with it. And the only thing I'd have to say is, well, this biases me somewhat, but I might as well say it, the older you get and the longer you work for, the more you start wishing you would have invested more of your shit back in the day. What do
Yeah.
you think about that, Zuber? Is that
Ab- Absolutely. Yeah. The older I get, I don't have, I'm lucky enough to say I don't have many regrets in my life, but one of my biggest regrets is I didn't buy a fourplex when I was 20 years old.
yep,
It would have
geez, same here.
fundamentally changed, it would have fundamentally changed my
Right.
life. It's
And a
pretty,
lot of,
pretty
I
wild.
would like to address, this is stuff that people very rarely talk about. So I'd like to address something that I think people think is kind of like a showstopper argument against this. And I don't think
Mhm.
it is people will say like, okay, so let's say you're 89 and you have terminal cancer and you have 200 million under management. Okay, you you don't even, you can't even claim that you're going to die. The idea of the guy that dies with the most toys wins. You don't even have toys.
Exactly.
Like an index fund is not a toy. You can't drive it around. Your neighbors aren't impressed when they see it.
Mhm.
Doesn't have four-wheel drive. So you did even worse. You are going to die with just money under management. Like, how terrible is that? On the one hand, yeah, for sure, that's weird, right? That's, how do you explain that to a regular person? It's super strange. On the other hand, if I got to investing sometime in my 30s, by the time I'm 89 years old and the nurse is like, oh, you're still awake today. That's nice. It
Let me
won't be
clean that
happening.
drool off. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You can go into that great sleep that is ahead for all of us
Mhm.
without ever having to worry about money ever again from age 30 all the way to age 80. And so people say like, well, you're just dying with 200 million. Yes. Yes. Let all the stereotypes about Jews sing. I want to die physically fucking clutching my money. God damn it. I'm totally kidding. That would be insane. I'd have to pull it out of the index and then it wouldn't generate any returns.
Yeah.
What a
No,
maddening
no,
idea.
why would you do
I,
that?
I just want to like to refresh my account to see how much I have like right before I go. No, but on a serious note, like there is one thing that people forget money buys,
Mm.
and not always, many people remember this, but people forget it, I think, too often. And that is the psychological benefit of financial security.
Mm.
And it sounds like the most lame thing anyone's ever going to say. That's something your dad says when you're 14, you get your first job. He's like, remember fiscal responsibility. And you're like, shut up, dad. I'm going to buy that outfit I like, go out with my girlfriends. Great. But financial security means you don't have to worry. You just don't. And that kind of, you never would think that's a thing until you experienced it.